Well, this is hello. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Been a while. I wanted to get back into this has actually been a long time coming. I've actually been wanting to get back into YouTube. I didn't quite know what to do. Trying to figure stuff out to me is kind of difficult. Trying to figure out what I can do. So what I decided to do is maybe do this, which is, if people don't know, I like to write. I have my DeviantArt linked in my channel for a reason. I write about a character by the name of the Professor. Oh god, that lag. Is it? Yeah, it's starting to get back. As you can tell, I made him in Minecraft. I got Minecraft recently, and what I was considering on doing is actually making his TARDIS. Just a fun little thing to do in Minecraft. And there we go. And just have fun with it. Just have fun. Thank you. Bad. So what I thought on doing was basically building his TARDIS from scratch in Minecraft. This is the Dalek mod. And as you saw, I have the furniture mod installed. I have a couple other mods installed, too many items, and carry. But those are like for survival purposes. This is mainly just to build this TARDIS. So, using... I wish they actually built like a normal wardrobe. Because while I love the steampunk aspect of it, there needs to be a normal wardrobe TARDIS. Geronimo. So they wanted to make sure that you could fly the TARDIS in any form you wish, even this one. So here, all you have: command circuit, TARDIS monitor, flight panel, and flight lever. Do not click this. If you're doing what I'm doing, which is remodeling a TARDIS from scratch, this will break your TARDIS. I've had that happen. I've redone this a bunch of times. Built a bunch of TARDISes. Just to give it a go, see how it went. And I actually kind of like some of the ones I did, but again, actually building it. So normally what I go for is wood. The wood is a wooden console with a different thing, because this is supposed to be the Professor, and the Professor has like wood. To him, wood is just as popular as the white walls. Which is funny, because while his console's wooden and I love the wooden interior, I don't like that. I like the layout of the console, 5, and then like the pocket, but I don't like how small it is, because I can actually pull it out right here. I can actually just yank it right here. That's just way too small. Like, it makes sense because it's the secondary control room, but no, it just doesn't make sense. So besides that, let's grab all the stuff we will be using to build the room, and then we can get on our way. So, spinning light, and there, and okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how's everyone doing in this very, very peculiar time? I mean, given my last video was fall of last year, and now we're entering summer. And especially since, you know, everything has completely gone to heck in a handbasket, it just seemed fitting. It seemed fitting to just come back and do something. Should I use spruce or I want it dark. Let me see, would that give the feeling? Yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, one of the funniest things I had to do was when everything shut down, it was just like no one knew what we were doing. Originally, the college president was like, you know, come back the day after my birthday, which was already a week after when spring break was supposed to be over. And then you had basically them go and say, yeah, we got it close. It's just, we got it close. Which was kind of a shocking thing for all of us, because that's pretty much telling like a bunch of students, yeah, we don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We don't know like what we're gonna do. So like, I didn't have like any work for like 2 weeks because they were like, oh God, we don't know. We've never done this. I don't want to make fun of this, but it's like, I don't want to make fun of anything that's going on. I'm making fun of like the specific circumstances because it was hard on the teachers. They didn't know what to do. One of my classes ended up just being a tutorials class because it was a hands-on class, and they just didn't know how to, you know, what to do. And I felt sad for him because he had all this stuff planned out, and I was ready for it, and it just didn't work. It just collapsed. So we basically had to just do everything off the wall for those first weeks after when they started doing all the assignments. We just had to be like, we don't know, just write a paper. I kind of like that. That's pretty freaking cool. I like that design. But yeah, one of the big things that kind of just made all of my classes were like, we had to do a group project, which like, I don't need to tell you how hard that will be in the times we are doing it, because oh boy. But yeah, group projects, not the easiest thing to do. Okay, 2 more, and it confused the teachers, and we all just waited and just hoped. we just hoped that we could do something because, you know, we gotta. Let's do 21 and then over this way. There we go, and then we can. But yeah, college though now to say it is over for the summer. So they're talking about at my college possibly doing online for next semester, like online only, which I wouldn't mind, but you know, it just it you know, I'm just glad there's when they say stay indoors, they're not trying to be mean. What they're trying to tell you is stay indoors. One, two, three, four. Should I do this design? Oh, I went way. Oh God, why is this? There we go. What the heck? But yeah, it just. Now with summer coming back, I'm gonna try and do more videos. I want to actually do a couple more build sessions as well if this actually becomes popular. Trying to build my TARDIS. Okay, build the professor's TARDIS. Okay, so let's have a look. That's 5. That should be. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I like the rupee design. Which is diamond, but with the ends chopped off. I like the rupee design because you enter like the new age TARDIS, which I like, but I also like the big classic design TARDISes, where it was Davidson had one. Davidson had the huge screen that was carried over from the Fourth Doctor, which I loved. I loved that just big screen. You know, when you start talking about Doctor Who TARDIS console rooms, originally I loved Matt Smith's first one. Second one felt a little too cold, but I love the multi-tiered and everything going every which way, and it felt a lot. It felt homey to me when I started watching Doctor Who. Now I'm more akin to liking the classics, the classic console rooms, especially the first and second Doctor ones, where they had the same scale of the originals of you know, the Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi TARDISes and Jodie Whittaker's, but they were one floor. They were flat. They were, if you could come in, you would come in and then be, you know, you could lounge around. You didn't have to be like, oh, hi, Doctor, what are you doing up there on the 5th floor? It was more like, oh, just hello, and then have everything flat. I did like some of the design things to that, the grading floor, everything. I just need to get the floor laid out. Another thing what I liked about the classic TARDISes over the New Age TARDISes is that they actually made sense. Which I may actually mix with a... You know what? I could do that. What is... If I wasn't to go for these... I don't like the black. Any of the black on white or the white with... No. The black with the white here. It's no and no. There's... Ruth made sense, but no. If anyone doesn't remember... What the TARDISes wore originally... Get rid of these. Oh, God. Oh, God. Was they were to make the wall seem bigger because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to put, build all the walls. So what they did was they made a picture of the wall and blew it out and made their own TARDIS walls by just making a bunch of plasterboard, slapping it on the TARDIS and being like, oh, this is where... Oh my God, that works. I love that. Yes, that's a lot better. But they really did try to, make it seem bigger than it was. One of the funniest ones I remember is in Frontier in Space. In Frontier in Space, whoever came up with that design, I know it doesn't work. Because what they decided to do in their quick and hasty way to get the TARDIS ready for that film shoot, they just crunched it. They made a diamond in the front, and they were like, "Oh, this works. All right, Jimmy. Now time to get the next stuff." And it's just like, no, that's... See, I'm one who also likes the fishbowl TARDIS, but oh God, that one's I like the Time Monster TARDIS only for the reason is like it's freaking hilarious, because you can tell like it was rushed, but at the same time it's like, oh, I like how this looks. I like the fact that the TARDIS is that the TARDIS is that the TARDIS that it but that one directly leads into one of the best TARDIS rooms of all time, which I may actually use that back. Let me see that back. I might use the back wall. Because that's just... That just looks amazing. Just a screen or screen doesn't work, but I can add screens in the TARDIS. Because to me, that's just incredible. With the whole, and they recreated this in the Three Doctors. That's why you had that back end, but they didn't know how to build it correctly. So literally the entire TARDIS was basically, let's just build it. It'll be fine, everybody. It'll be wonderfully fine, and nothing will go bad. You can trust me on that. It's just like what? Why? I kind of like, I really like that idea. It's just good idea, guys. You tried, but that's not this. I I do also, to kind of start another controversy. I like Whittaker. Whittaker has some really good episodes. Some very, very crazy ideas from Chibnall notwithstanding. Like the series finale for series 12. If people don't understand what that was, to me, what that was based off of, that's based off the idea of the other. In Doctor Who lore, buried somewhere, there are the three founding fathers: Gallifrey, Rassilon, Omega, and the other. The other, it doesn't. No one's ever really known what he did for him to become a founding father. But all they know is that in that lore, the other died because he was around when Rassilon, and because the three of them were friends, he was around before Rassilon perfected regeneration. He was around far before he perfected regeneration, and they had to pretty much, because they pretty much had to let him go. Let him go as in, this was before Rassilon found immortality. This is before all that. So pretty much he passed. That's canon, because then the Doctor is then found out to be the descendant of the other, which, if that was done in that particular episode, maybe that would fix some of the problem. Basically, either way, that episode just took 60 years of canon, threw it in a blender, and basically said, let's try this. Let's see if we can make this work. It doesn't, but you can tell that he was trying to reference the other, which, like, BBC, why can't you just let him use the idea of the other, and it would fix some of the problems? Like, don't make it like the Doctor was the one who created all of regeneration and everything, and you just Deus Ex Machina. Yeah, it's like, no, this isn't how this works. What I like, what was a big canon going into that particular episode was that Ruth was Series 6B. What they should have done, and I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I have to say it, what they should have done is, if you wanted the Doctor to basically be, I am one of the founders of Time Lord Society, I am the other, you could basically have he starts to remember in the second Doctor era, when the CIA, the Celestial Intervention Agency, which is what yanks the second Doctor away from his destined regeneration, they notice that he's starting to remember that he is one of the founders of Time Lord Society. And they don't want the Doctor to remember, hey, you were kind of one of the ones who made all of our laws. So could you not remember? And so but they couldn't stop it before he became Ruth. Ruth then flees to Earth, uses the chameleon arc, and hide down on Earth for a while, now remembering that she is the other. To her, she is both the other and the Doctor. but the other is pretty much just I'm the other guy. So she continues to use the name of the Doctor. Fast forward now to Cyber War time. Master has not killed all the Time Lords. He's gotten into the high. Let's say he's gotten in the High Council. He's destroyed one of the towns of one of the citadels of Gallifrey. Since it has already been mentioned that there are more than one citadel on Gallifrey, and so on one of the citadels of Gallifrey is just wrecked. Just everyone's gone. Every single person's just gone. And the Doctor, seeing this just genocide of her people, loses it. Like, this is like it doesn't take the Matrix to make her remember fully. She just gets pissed. And she doesn't know where this anger has come from. It's just fueling her and her rage and her anger. And then when they start going into the Matrix, the Master then realizes, you are one of the founders of Time Lord Society. You are pretty much everything I despise in myself, because you made it so I could exist. That fixes the plot hole of the Timeless Child. You then, if you wanted to be like, oh, he was the one who figured out, in some stories of the other, he was the one who piloted the first TARDIS, and that's why he disappeared or died. But if you wanted the Doctor to be the case for regeneration, you could be the other, found out the formula, told Rassilon. Rassilon then kills the other to hide the fact that he found out before himself, the great Rassilon, and profits off the knowledge, basically becoming the first Lord President of Gallifrey. Done. Bish bash bosh. Everything's finished. The Doctor becomes what you want, which is the founder of Gallifrey. He still is a Time Lord. That doesn't change. She becomes this. She almost becomes now like, who am I? Because at that point, it's now no longer a cause of what have I done? No longer a case of like, I know who I am now. It just adds another title to who she is as a character. Not I am the Grand Wizard. I am the Grand Wizard. I control all of Gallifrey's future. I like some of the ideas were good in it. I'm turning down the music. Cause you probably can't. I gotta turn down some of the music. It just, you don't expect it to be. It just doesn't work, in my opinion, that episode. I would love, what's funny is I remember a couple weeks later after that episode aired, was it a month? I think it was a month later, I listened to Nerd Keith's review of it, and it was just like, it's like, Chibnall, you could have fixed this. It almost feels at this point like Chibnall's like, I need to tell this story. Like, this story needs to be told. No, the other, if you wanted to tell the story of the other, and be like, and you wanted the Morbius docs to become canon, you could be like, those are the other's incarnations, which is You could be like, the others incarnations are in fact now also canon because they are now the others incarnations. That's how the other looked in Time Lord Society. Done. You didn't have to do what you did and basically be like, no, Time Lord Society is now all directly from the Doctor. The Doctor did everything, and it's just like, no. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Alright, let's start this. But yeah, it pretty much started at that point to just become a little bit too because I don't think Doctor Who, like, people overblew and was like, Doctor Who's over! It's like, oh my god, stop. Can you not? Can you not for like 5 seconds? Because it really isn't. Like I know what you're trying to say, but it really isn't. It's just like, I know what you're trying to say, but it's not over. It's just not. And like, people could retcon this. Retcons, thankfully, retcons are a thing in Doctor Who, which is a thing many writers have taken, and I think this is going to get the retcon, or it's going to get fixed into what it should be or what it could be. But here's the thing, I could also see stories deriving out of this now, which is like, the Doctor's now not a Time Lord, which means what could she be? They're trying to follow, if anyone doesn't remember, if anyone doesn't know, when the show came back in the 1986, or no, 1987, they had a plan. They had a plan to make the Doctor, after the debacle that was all of the series previous. They were like, we need to get somebody in here who knows just what the heck they're talking about. Enter the person who decided, let's make the Doctor mysterious. And it's just wow. I love the outfit, and like, Mysterious 7 is like one of the best things one of the best things in the classic series, but can we not try and replicate that? Because that's not gonna work the way you think. More likely what's gonna happen is basically it's gonna be like, everything's now mine. Like, I am now the victor. I am now the winner of the Doctor. It's like, all of Doctor Who canon is now that she was a Time Lord from the she was in a time loop, but now she is, but now she isn't, but now she is, and now they're gonna keep flip-flopping, and it's just like, can you not? Can we not? Because that's all I see now. If people want this retcon, is that they're gonna they're gonna flip it back, and then people are gonna be like, how about but it doesn't. It's like, don't you realize that this could just be another of the Master's tricks? Like, seriously, like, this could just be, it's another of the Master's tricks. That looks really, I really like how that looks. It's like, it could be another of the Master's tricks. Everything's going badly. Oh no, why? But yeah, I just hope that when eventually we get Series 13, we start getting actual stories. Because while Series 12 was a step up because we had a plot, we had an arc that led to a thing because that was a thing we needed desperately in Series 11, because Series 11 was just, let's go around in the TARDIS. Doctor, let us not go around in the TARDIS because of this bad thing. What bad thing? What bad thing? Graham, Yaz, and or Graham, Yaz, and Orion. This will be perfect. It's just like, no, please, can we not? Like, that entire episode, I love some episodes in Series 11, but it was just, let's do this. And that series, I'm not bashing Chibnall on, because Chibnall really needed to get his in the thing, which is why I don't bash him as hard on Series 11 as some people. But oh boy, that Series 12. Yeah, I don't give him luxuries on Series 12. Praxius, like, there were, like, I need to remember some of the names, but it was just no. Literally, that entire series could just basically be summed up as the Doctor screaming, "No, and I will save you, and I don't know how to do this yet." Which I love Capaldi's final speech, which was, be kind, don't be cowardly, be nice, be gentle, and always listen, and always do the right thing. Which I liked. I loved. That's why Twice Upon a Time is my favorite Doctor Who Christmas episode. It just is, by a mile, because it really was good and really was what we needed. However, I don't think 13 would have been fixed with Moffat. If it was me, again, this is my opinion. I personally think Capaldi would have left in Twice Upon a Time. Twice Upon a Time would have been written the same year, would have been done the same way, would have been counteracted, and everything gone wrong. You're flickering. God dang it. I'll try to make my own. Because that was getting ridiculous. But yeah, it just really felt like Capaldi should have left in Series 10. That was probably a good time to depart for him. He did 3 seasons. And now it's time for him to leave the TARDIS, and now it's time for him to go on and do something else. Goodbye, Capaldi. You were wonderful. See you on your future. See you in whatever else you're in. Now, let's say Moffat chose Jodie Whittaker. Continuing on. Series 11 probably would have been a lot different. It would have. I personally think we would have seen something to the level of the Timeless Children. I don't, because at that point, like, for having the Doctor turn female, you know, he would probably turn it into like, oh my god, the Master, tricked me, and or something, and I got turned into a female. It was all a trick by the Master. Because even then, like Michelle Gomez said, Series 10, I'm done. Like, even Series 10, and we wouldn't have gotten we wouldn't have gotten Spyfall. So, in this technical outline, Stephen Moffat's still showrunner. Jodie Whittaker has been cast. O has still been cast. Everything is the same way as it was over the 2-year period, 3-year period we're at. Okay. Series 11 starts with Spyfall. Or starts with The Woman Who Fails to Earth. We get introduced to Grace. She dies, but she doesn't die from the Doctor's thing. She dies. She doesn't die from her own thing. She dies by, she actually is shot. Like Tim Shaw actually shoots her, which is something Moffat would have done instead of Chibnall. Chibnall said, oh, she slipped and fell. Moffat would be, no, Tim Shaw alien shot her. And at that point, then everything goes into, you tie into, and then you start showing Graham's not doing too well. He starts, thinking about, he starts considering, doing something that's not, he starts doing something that he knows Grace would tell him no. That Grace would pretty much say, I do not want you to do this. You will not do this. You will not, use my name in vain for revenge. I do not want revenge. So Rosa then happens. And then he becomes the guy. Rosa still happens, and he's the one who has to keep standing. and he becomes sick because he's like, look at me. I have to be this. I have to do this, which horrifies not even him, but horrifies Ryan, because he then now realizes, this is one of his Grand's heroes, and in order for her to be that hero, he has to keep standing. So then you have that on his shoulders when he then picks up, and then his confrontation with Tim Shaw. I would have him have like another confrontation, maybe in Mine City. Maybe the frog, the alternate dimension in Can You Hear Me or Can You See Me? That one where a frog is trying to get into our universe, which that was a pretty good one. I kind of like that one idea, because that is quintessential Doctor Who. But anyway, have the doctor come in at the last minute and be like, Graham, don't. This is not what Grace would have wanted, and you know that. And so he stops, and so that stops him, but Tim Shaw then says, next time she may not be there, and it may be your choice. So you continually have Graham having an over-arc, while then also exploring Ryan and Yaz in small arcs along the way, like in Rosa, and you keep that, but you continue on and have Graham have the first go at the arc, at the story arc, the companion arc. Then by the end, in Ravsco, in the Battle of Crab Rangoon, it is then determined that Graham has made up his mind. He is going to get involved and shoot. He's made up his mind. Like, he says, I'm going to find and destroy Tim Shaw. And he tells Ryan this, and Ryan is kind of a little iffy on it. Like, he knows, like, he kind of has the same feelings, but he kind of knows that the doctor would be very against it. And then Graham is like, she wasn't there, and tries to basically trying to put the blame and show that blame is still so heavy in his heart. Cut to the final scene before Graham defeats Tim Shaw. Graham has the upper hand. He has the gun. And then he doesn't shoot. He just doesn't. He just doesn't shoot, and everything goes fine. Everything goes wonderfully fine. And then that's when the doctor kind of smiles, and they show that Graham made the right choice. There. Graham arc done. Graham can then leave the TARDIS in Series 12. People are saying that Graham may be leaving the show. Bradley Walsh may be leaving at the end of the Christmas special. That having him get the first arc would tie up most of his story in a bow. So then you would have Ryan and Yaz left. The year gap happens, and you have the introduction of and then in Ryan's talk, he is not picked up by MI6. He is picked up by Graham. He's talking to Graham, and Graham basically says, I can't, if the doc shows up, I'm going to tell her. And he goes and Ryan says, are you sure? He says, yeah. It's like, going out in space, I finally made my amends, and I at least there'll be something here for you when you get back, eh? Drops off Ryan. So then the goodbye would be then made after the doctor goes and picks him back at the end of Spyfall Part 2, drops him off to go, and she goes back to go, and says, let's go off on adventures together. And then that's when Graham says, Doc, I have something to tell you. Graham then departs at the end of Spyfall Part 2. Then it's just Ryan, Yaz, and the doctor. At that point, everything is now there, and there. So you don't have to deal with You don't have to deal with, that crunched up. You have now 3. You have a 3-person team. While Graham does have some good lines in 12, it's better for the overall story to be like, it's time for Graham to leave. And then he would depart. Then you would have the doctor, and then you would have Ryan's, after what has happened in Part 1 of Spyfall, he starts talking to Yaz, who's already showing signs that she wants to depart. She says, I felt like I died, and I can't deal with this. And so she starts, saying, what is it good for traveling if what is it good escaping is if you could die from your escapism? Why, I have a life of my own, Ryan. I can't go risking it every day, with Daleks and Daleks referencing Resolution. I can't go, everything. And your dad nearly died, Ryan. And you're still part of them? So you kind of show that the pulling apart of the TARDIS team at this point. Where it's like you start showing that these people that the doctor just grabbed and ran were just, she just grabbed the first people near her. Like, that's all she did, was she grabbed the first people near her and was like, hey, let's go traveling. And now, like, they are the ones who are like, we can't do this. And so Ryan's like, I was scared for me dad. I was scared for me dad, and it terrified me. It legitimately terrified me. So you start showing that character of, like, everyone may be about to leave her, and the doctor knows this. Don't hide it. Don't be like, everything's all sunshine and rainbows and all the doctors that know. She knows that her companions are about to leave her. She knows that she's done. She knows that she's about to be, that she may be companionless again, and so soon after changing. But she's like, it's their decision. It's their decision. Let's keep traveling. Praxius is then where I would have Ryan depart. Ryan, at that point, when he's starts seeing the worm, seeing the bird, and he sees these, and he sees planet, and he sees his planet under physically under attack, because all the other times it's been like either past or far future. No, this is current day, and to him, he's like, besides Spyfall, he's like, I'm done. If this stuff's in me, what can we do? What can we do? I'm done. He's like, Doc, I gotta go home. She says, are you sure? He goes, yes. I can't do this no more. So, Ryan departs Apraxius. Then you have Doc and Dr. Nyaz, and I know people are going to make that puns and jokes. No, that's not the reason. Yaz is just the only one who actually has the fledgling of an arc still left, which is built on from Demons of the Punjab and actually could do a lot better. Can you hear me? Then happens. She finds out her family, and then that's when you would have Yaz depart. What this does is then puts the final three-parter. You would have it be a three-parter. The Haunting, The Ascension of the Cybermen, Timeless Children, all Doctor-only stories. Because at that point you're just writing Whittaker. You're not writing Whittaker plus companions. You're not having her share the limelight. It's just Whittaker. It's just, what can we do? What will the Doctor do? She has no one in her corner. She has no one backing her up. It's just her and the Master and the Cybermen. And by the end, she then comes out victorious, now knowing who she is. Hello, I'm the Doctor. Long time ago, I was called the Other. But I guess you already knew that. I am one of the founding members of Gallifrey. And, well, that doesn't mean I'm sacrificing who I am. Then done. Then you have Christmas special be either another Dr. Light episode or be the introduction to the new companion, like it was with Donna. Have a Donna type of story where it's like, oh, well, welcome to the new companion. Oh my God! Look at the new companion. Isn't she so good? Look at what she can do. But you have that where if you're gonna do this story, you gotta do it where the Doctor feels completely hopeless. The Doctor in Ascension of the Cybermen has Ryan, Yaz, and Graham. She has everything. She knows, what the heck is gonna go on. But yet she still's like, I'm gonna survive. No. Have the Doctor alone. Have her be, I don't know who I am. And that horrifies me. You're basically telling me that I died by Rassilon. That's why Rassilon despised me. That's why Rassilon did, and then that's why, and then you reference War Dock and all these stuffs, and you actually get set up an arc, which is now she's the other. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You know, further down the road, because now she knows that she is one of the founding members of Gallifrey. Alright, so I think that's about it for now, for this first episode. It was pretty fun, and talking about and rambling about Series 11 and Series 12 was actually kind of exhilarating, building this TARDIS. But yeah, it was pretty much fun. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Next time, we'll continue on building the console room. It actually looks pretty good. Pretty built out. In the beginning, we'll look around, see what got built in this part. Goodbye, and see you next time.